Hi, I'm George, and we'll be doing this Happy Thanksgiving card here for a nice family portrait. Now if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, click on share, click on subscribe. Take a look at my channel for hundreds more Photoshop Elements videos, and you can get the project files. There's a link for that in the description, and I have all these available up on my website. And if you really want to learn how to use Photoshop Elements, take a look at my complete training courses. There's a link for that right down there in the description. All right, let's go ahead and start on this project. We'll be using just a nice standard family photo here. Let me just show you this. I'll hide all these other layers in here. There it is, just like that, just a standard family photo. We'll be replacing the background here and then cutting out this family out of this picture and pasting it on top of this image right there, putting a little drop shadow and then adding in the text on top. Now the typeface I used up here is actually a Disney style typeface. It kind of looks like the old style Disney sign, Disneyland sign. But let me show you this real fast first. Let me bring up that website. Here we go. It's at wfonts.com and it's Orange Grove. You just do a search for Orange Grove to find this. Now I have this link on my downloads page, so you don't have to write this down. Just go to the downloads page for that. And the link for the downloads page, of course, is in the description. And it's simply an old-fashioned Disney style looking typeface, but it also looks really nice here for a Happy Thanksgiving sign. Now to do a font, make sure you close out Photoshop Elements. You then install the font and then open Photoshop Elements up again because it reads the font list when it opens up. So to see it in the font list, you'll have to close Photoshop Elements down, install the font, and then open it up again. Now to install the font, it's going to come down as a zip file. Just unzip the file, right-click on the file name, and there'll be an install link right there. Just get rid of all that stuff, and here's the original image. And I'll dock this in just like that. There we go. Now the first thing we need to do is to cut them out of the background. It's pretty easy. We're making a very careful selection around here. I tried this with several different selection tools, and Photoshop Elements is having a real hard time with that background. It's kind of confusing, so I had to be in pretty tight on this one. The tool I'll be using up here is the Polygonal Lasso tool, and I'll come in really close on the hair, and then around all the hard edges, I'm going to try to do the exact hard edge here with this lasso tool. So I'll just show you right up here about this much of it, and then I'll turn the video off, finish the selection, then come back and talk about more. So first be doing a selection around the figures. We'll then come back in, we'll cut out this little bit here, cut out this little bit down here, cut out that little bit right here, and that will be used for our final selection. For the hair, we'll be using the refine edge to get a better selection around the hair. Okay, now when you're using any of these more careful selection tools, it's best to get in real nice and tight and close like this so you can see what you're doing. I'll go to my tool right here. Now if you hold the space bar down, get this little hand icon, you can then drag your image around to make it pretty easy. So I'll start right up here. I have my lasso here set at a new selection, anti-aliasing, feathering at 1 pixel, just makes it a little bit softer. And then I'll come just outside the hair like this, stay just outside. Again, we'll come back with the refine edge to take care of the hair. That goes pretty well as long as we're in real close. You can see how close it is to the background in some of those spots. And when I get down here to a hard edge, I'll take my time and come in and just do a very careful selection along this edge. Sometimes you just have to do it the hard way. There's no good shortcut on this. On this one, it has to be done the hard way. So just take your time. Now when you're using this tool, you make one click and then you pull to your next position, click, it sets in that point, pull to your next position, and click. You can go faster on straight edges, slower on corners or curves. Hold the spacebar down. There we go. And if you look at this kind of a soft edge, just be right on that edge of that soft edge, and you should be fine. Now don't click too fast or it's going to cause your selection to collapse and you'll have to start over again. So take your time and just get in kind of a zen state. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll finish this outer selection. Once that's done, I'll bring the video back up again and we'll take a look at using that refined edge to clean up the hair and also to remove that interior section, those little interior spots. Okay, there's the selection around the outside. I also got this little bit right down here and that little bit right down here. Let's now clean up this little bit right here in the hand, this bit right here, and that bit here. We'll just zoom in on those. They're pretty small. And we want to set this at subtract. Since all this is now selected, I'm not going to worry about that bit or that bit. They're just going to disappear for us, so they're not going to be an issue. But this little one here will be a problem. Just a careful little selection right around here. It doesn't need to be perfectly exact at this point. There we go. That one's taken care of. Hold the space bar down. Let's move it over here. Let's get this one out of here. And I had a little one right down here. Let's just get this piece out of here. Now we'll go back to fit on screen. So that's taken care of. So one more right in here. Let's get that one. Okay, there we go. I'm now just going to zoom in quite a ways. Again, space bar. We'll start over here on the father's hair. And go back to your selection tool. Come down to refine edge. Here we are. I have mine set up with this overlay mask. This is normally the easiest one to use. I'll set smart radius here. I'll set this at 1 pixel, just a little bit of help for us there. Leave everything else the same. Down here on the size, right down there, see there's the size of the brush on his forehead right there. That looks pretty good. So now I'll just brush right over that area there, right over that spot where the hair is going into the background. Now if it comes in too far, just switch over here to the eraser tool and come back in and then erase back on the part that you want to keep. Okay, back to your paint tool. Let's do the mom's hair in here. I'm guessing this is the mom and then a grandma. That's my guess on that. Now in this you can't use the space bar. To move this around you have to use the hand tool right here. So we'll use our hand tool. Back to our brush. And we'll continue around this side of the hair. And that's looking pretty good. Okay, back to the hand tool. And I can get both of their hair right here. Get this side. And that's looking pretty good. And then right down, right along in here. And then let's get the grandma's hair in here. There we go. Right on the edge right here. And this will finish off our selection. Once we're done right down this little bit, right down in here. Refine edge is great for areas with hair. Now it's not going to grab every little fine hair. It can't do that, but it's going to get most of that. And it'll look just fine for our project. Okay, once that's done, you may want to decontaminate colors. It'll just clean up any kind of odd coloration on the edges for us. And then down here you want to output this to a new layer with layer mask. Choose OK. And what that does, as you can see here, it cuts them out of the background. There we go. And you see a little bit of kind of a grayness in here or along that edge. We can get rid of some of that by actually making the layer mask more contrasty. So click on the layer mask side. And then go over to our tools. You want this tool right here. Now your tool may look like that. If it is, come down here to the options and click on the one right down here. I have mine set for shadows, that's fine. This is just the burn tool. You see there's the brush size right there on her forehead, there it is. And this is going to make the layer mask more contrasty. And I'm just doing little short brush strokes in here. And this can often be used to clean up a little bit of that kind of fuzziness right along the edge. It just makes the edge more contrasty, and that makes it more tight against whatever it is that we're looking at. And this will really only have to be done right along where we used that refined edge. Everything else will be just fine. And now I can use the hand tool. There it is. And again, that was just holding down the space bar. And we'll come around here like that. Maybe just a little bit right in there. Okay, that looks good. Our layer mask is fine. Let's go back to fit on screen. And there it is. We have now cut the family out of their background. So the first half of this is done. Now we need to bring in our new picture in the background, and I have mine hiding down here on the photo bin. Let me bring that up. And there's the other picture. Now at this point you can actually just drag this from the photo bin right on top of your other project like that, and it just puts it right in there. Now notice, let me just get rid of this. Notice that I was on the background when I did that, so it came in right above the background layer. If yours comes in like this on top, just pull it straight down on your layer list like that so it's underneath your family. Now it's not quite the right size. As you can see, it's a little bit short. So I'll grab the control handle in the middle here on the top, pull that up, and come to the bottom, grab the control handle at the bottom middle, pull that down, and our check mark. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Now they're a little high. We need to have some space in here to put in our Happy Thanksgiving. So I'll click on the picture up here, and then just using the move tool, just drag them straight down a little bit. Maybe down here somewhere is pretty good. And I'll put them just about center. Notice how the layer mask moves with them. It all kind of moves together. So you can move those around anywhere you want to. Okay, that looks good right here. Let's now do our typeface. I'll go to the type tool, and I have mine at the Orange Grove regular. That's one we looked at previously. Now, if you have it in your list, but your list is showing something different, Let me just do a real fast, go up here someplace. So your list isn't showing that, just select that and begin typing it in, and it will then narrow down your list right down to that, and there it is, there's the orange grove right there. Okay, for the color, I have mine set here at web hues, right there, little drop down arrow. Just change this to web hues, and I have my nice bright orange right down there. I'll choose that one. There's the bright orange. That's kind of a nice orange right there. Now the size we want to use here is 150 point. Everything else stays the same. Tracking is the same, leading is the same. You can put this at left just about if you want to. And then click over here left hand side someplace, and then type in Happy Thanksgiving. There it is. And then bring it in so it's just kind of overlapping just into his head right there. We'll fix that in just a second. We'll leave this in front for right now. Okay, let's now do some layer style work on this. It's a little hard to see this, so I want to have an outline on here. Let's go up to Layer, come down to Layer Style, Style Settings, and here click on Stroke, and in Stroke, click on that black square. This brings up the color picker. Click in the middle someplace and then just push it clear to the upper left-hand corner. That makes it white. And then we're going to change the stroke size here to 7. There it is, and you want this to be outside and opacity at 100. Okay, that makes it easy to read. I also want to have a drop shadow on here. So click on drop shadow. I have my lighting angle. I normally put this at 136. I just kind of like it over there. On this one, on the size, set the size a little larger here to 10. Now the 10 is the softness of this. I'll show you that in just a second. The distance here is 24. That moves it out a little bit. And opacity, I want to bring this up a lot, so I'll go clear to the top right there. Notice that's kind of a little bit of a soft edge right in here. That's the size. If I bring the size up, that gets softer. If I bring it down, it gets harder. That's what the size is about. This is just the softness of that shadow edge. Okay, there we go. That's all good. Let's now get this in behind his head. So I'll take the text layer and drag it underneath the family layer, and then now it goes in behind his head. You can now reposition this just a little bit. I want just enough of that Y showing so it's easy to read as being a Y in there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's now come down to our family. Right here, there's the family picture. Click on the left-hand side on this, and I want just a slight drop shadow behind them. So same thing, layer, layer style, style settings, and drop shadow. Leave the lighting angle the same. Let's set our size at 20, just a bit softer. Bring our distance to 15, and then bring the opacity up to 75%. So it's not exactly the same settings, but it looks pretty good in there. So there you go, just a little bit of a soft drop shadow on the right-hand side, just helping to separate them out from the background. And there we go. If you want more information about using downloaded fonts, I have a whole video about that, and I'll put a link for that right up there, upper left-hand corner, right up where it says happy. Now, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, click on share, click on subscribe, check out my channel for a bunch more Minecraft videos, and make sure you take a look at my complete training course for Photoshop Elements. It really is the best way to learn how to use this program. Okay, and I'll see you next time.